Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought another fantastic guest on. It says he's been here before, and he's been here again, and now he's back. So, but before we get to him, the Oswald Chronicles is currently on Kickstarter. So if you want to back, some of my projects and read an awesome book, go on over to Kickstarter. The link is in the show notes. And without further ado, here's our fantastic guest. I think for the fourth time. It's either the third time or fourth time. I forget. Mr. Michael.
Who counts anymore, JD? I've been on your show for these one-on-ones. I've been on your other show to talk comics with other creators. I'm here a little bit.
No, that's fantastic. That's what I want you. I want you here. So, Michael, we've done this a few times. You've done a number of campaigns rather successfully. You got a new campaign coming up. Talk to me about it. What do you have to say about that new campaign?
Well, first of all, what I have to say about this new campaign is it's going to knock your socks off. Mm. I don't usually like to toot my own horn on it. Like I would like to think that I'm fairly humble, not to be like the whole Drax meme. Like, I too am extraordinarily humble. No, I'm not someone that like goes out there and be like, yes, this is the best thing that you're ever going to freaking read. But this is one of those projects that I feel the moment that you start to look at it and you start to look into it and you read, and then when you read the story that I've put out there with it, this is something special, and I think that this is something that could definitely define me as a creator, for better or worse, in the future, hopefully for better. And so what we have is a campaign for a comic book called The Embrace. And so The Embrace is Nine Realms Publishing's first ever superhero comic. And it's a story about, loss, justice, fatherhood. And it's all about this guy named Clarence Griffin, who a year ago, the most unthinkable thing happens and his child is murdered. And it's been a year, and the police have effectively given up. And so, without having much reason to go on, he goes to the last place he was with his son to take his own life, only to be saved by the ghost of his son David, who shows him the events that transpired that night and shows him the people that were responsible. And when he comes to, he's in this suit powered by David's soul, and together they're going out to bring these murderers to justice. And so it takes a lot of inspiration from stories like The Crow, Todd McFarlane, Robert Kirkman's Haunt, lots of those darker noir style superhero books from the 90s and early 2000s. And we've got a fantastic team with a lot of up and coming talent. We've got Dean James, who's an Australian that's coming up. Paul Billick, who's done color work on books like Shinobi Sasquatch, is doing our colors. We have been very fortunate in having some phenomenal artists come and do variant covers and pinups for us. We had the Barton brothers from How to Draw Comics did a cover for us that was outstanding, and then Jim O'Reilly and Sigmund Torre did our pre-launch mailing list pinup, which was so gorgeous that we were like, this has to be a cover of the book. And so now it's also our Virgin B variant.
Now I got a question for you. Now, is this going to be a graphic novel or a limited series?
This is going to be a limited series. This is the first book. It's a 40 pages of story. And this sets up The Embrace, which I think will run anywhere between 5 to 10 issues. It will be a contained story and everything. But it's definitely going it's one of those things where I don't want it to overstay its welcome, and I want to make sure that I have the headspace right for getting this the best way possible, the best way possible, and just make sure that we continue to build on each and every issue.
Okay. Now, how many issues are you looking? How many issues?
I would say anywhere between 5 to 10 issues.
Okay.
Like it honestly just depends. We are playing around with some ideas for potential crossover, um, like as a part of the series. So like that might come into play because this comic. I'm not going to even lie to you. We started development on this not even 3 months ago,
Right.
and since since this character started to get out there, people have been noticing us, and it's been incredibly humbling, but also nerve wracking to an unbelievable extent because like to go from a campaign where with Elysian Fields that did very respectable, but
Mm.
it still didn't even quite hit the the 5 figure mark to having people like running each other over to get in on just our mailing list. We passed 200 signups here just the other day, and we haven't had the mailing list uh, open for more than we've had a little over a month.
Mm.
So to have people just clamoring for it, and we have a lot of hype built up behind it. It's awesome, but at the same time, it's put the pressure on. We got to make sure that we deliver that all star quality comic because if we do, this is something that could very well shape the next few years of our lives.
Nice. Now, you already have it. Your team is already set up. You got your penciler. You're using an inker, or you have a
So
pencil.
Dean is currently doing all the line art. So he's doing
Mm.
the pencils and the inks.
Cool.
One of like if this is a big success, we are going to be bringing on like a dedicated inker. We'll grow it and everything. Um, as as this project grows, like this is one of those things where if this is as successful as we're thinking it's going to be, that like by the end of this book, um, you know, the this could very well even look like just be on a whole other different level artistically. Well,
Mm.
but like we're pretty excited about it. We've got some pretty fantastic art that's been coming in.
All right. Cool. That yeah, man. Because it looks. I mean, the premise sounds interesting. It sounds cool, and I really like the artwork you have that I've seen so far. Looks incredible. So I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, obviously, you're excited, right? Now, what's the part that's really like really driving you? Like, like what are you looking like as a creator? What's the part of it that you're looking as the boss? What do you look what are you looking to get out of this? I mean, as far as like, artistically.
From an artistic standpoint, um, this book has been a lot of how it has been a way for me to channel a lot of negative energy that I've had in my life over the past few months.
Mm.
Um, I've talked about it in a few other streams and what have you, but I'm going through a divorce, and it doesn't matter how well intentioned either party it is, especially when you have a kid. Um, they're never fun,
Right.
and so the embrace is kind of a manifestation of a lot of the pain and everything that I have gone through uh, in this whole ordeal. And so artistically, I just want to make sure that the intention of this remains pure, where it doesn't get corrupted by anything. Like, because the as much as the Embrace is a dark book, it is also I will say that it is also a superhero book, and one of the big core themes of it is that our children are the best parts of ourselves,
Right.
and as much as Clarence is the protagonist and the lens that we see this story through, David, his son, is the hero of the book, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't get corrupted um, by anything, and that's I guess like if I had to pick anything that's like what is my artistic drive is to make sure that by the end of this book, um, you know, David still remains a good kid, and that hopefully through this, Clarence will become a better man.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I know you're going through a lot, and it sounds like, yeah, but um, William Pace asks, is Michael tooting his own horn again? So I, I, yeah, I'm having trouble on StreamYard pulling up the messages from Facebook. It's been giving me a problem. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what William asks.
well, as I said, or as I said when I came in, I did toot my own horn a bit, but to be fair, William Pace told me to toot my own horn on one stream, so I'm actively just following directives that were given to me. So
you're just following instructions.
exactly,
All right,
that's all we're doing.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So you guys are only 3 months in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you wrote a script for your story. I mean, how quickly did that story come out of you? I mean, or are you still working on it? Because I'd imagine it's something that's
the first script's entirely done.
mm-hmm.
It's been I wrote it. I got an editor, Lee Byron Carver, who just recently launched his own book, Company Men Dead, White, and Blue. And we went through, we did our edits, finalized the script, and are working on the actual book. And as at this point, from the line art side of things, we have around a quarter of the book completed, which is which is like my minimum. Is if I'm going to launch a campaign when the book's not finished, I cannot have less than a quarter of the book done. That way we can maintain a decent pace going into our release calendar and everything. Mm. So everything's on track with that. But yeah, no, like it came together like super quickly. It's one of the big reasons why Dean isn't just my artist and I've labeled him my co-creator is because when I first came up with this concept, when I first came up with the concept, I was in a pretty dark place mentally. And so I had this idea, but I couldn't visualize it. Like every single time I went to write the script, I wasn't happy with anything that came out outside of like the bare bones synopsis. And so I had hit up a few people like, hey, I have this book that, I really, really want to feel like this, that, or the other. Mm. Who do you know is a good person? And I got recommended to Dean. And I talked to him about my idea a bit and what I was trying to go for. And I was like, look, so I have no reference for you. I have nothing outside of like how I like kind of envision his powers to work and stuff like that. How like would do you and so like I'm having issues like even just writing the script. It was like, can you do a character mock-up? And so I paid him to do a character design for the Embrace, and he came back and I gave very minimal edits because on first go it was like practically perfect. Nice. And literally after I got that initial design, the wheels and the head started rolling, and within a week and a half, I had my first draft done.
Okay, cool. Now, I mean, we've gone over this before. Are you doing since you consider him your partner in this? Are you doing Marvel or DC style, full script, or are you doing something a little looser for him?
A bit of a mixture. So I hail Yotam. But I think I was working with Chuck Pinot on a project, and he showed me this different script format that was that still kept a lot of the base structure of what I had been doing, but loosened things up a bit and also made it easier to read. Um, and so like I don't like when I wrote Elysian Fields, I was going like all out as to like what panel had to be I had to be like, you know, well, this panel has to be from this point of view and this, that, the other. And I was like, it was very much DC style script. But as I've, continued to use this certain style that Chuck showed me, the more I'm just like, I hire the artist for a reason. I let them know how many panels that I think should be on this page, but I don't tell them like what like unless I personally visualize something. I'm like, I think that this should look like this. Which I even did for the Embrace. We were working on our one of the final pages of the book, and I was like, I actually have a really cool idea for a layout for this, and so I did like a very rough mock-up, and I sent Dean a picture, and he saved it. And he was like, yeah, no, that's actually really good. I dig that, so we'll go with that. So unless I end up having something like that, for the most part, I still let them know exactly like how many panels I feel should be in each page. I obviously go into detail as to what happens in each panel. So it's a bit of a middle ground. I still have a little bit of command and control on my scripts, but at the same time, I'm allowing my artists to do their job. I pay them for a reason.
Right. Okay, that's cool. That's a good way to look at it. Now, how many pages do you guys are into at this moment? Do you have like 10, 15 pages?
We have, I would say, 11 pages where the line work is complete. We would have more colored, but we initially had Avery Ferdinand as our colorist, and he and Dean they didn't like it. Like no bad feelings between either of them. It wasn't a good fit creatively, and that happens in comics. And so it was unfortunate, but Avery left the project, and so then we went on the search for a colorist, and we were very lucky, and we picked up Paul Billick within the next week. And Paul is doing some really fantastic work. I know I've posted it up on Twitter, but in case you haven't seen it, JD, I can even pull that page up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Quick.
I'd definitely love to see it.
So this is, let's see, where'd it go? So many files. There we go.
Yeah. You have like 10,000 final files? This is Final File 1, Dude. Final File 10.
No, it's not even that. It's just like I've got so many different folders for so many different things at this point because I'm working on a lot. But so yeah, this is one of our I guess our first refinished page of the Embrace. This beautiful scene where Clarence is driving to the place he was last with his kid. And there's a little memorial there that you can kind of see him driving up to.
Nice.
And I mean, Paul's colors, they're beautiful. They really just set the mood of this page. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see even we've got SK from Sigma Studios is doing our lettering, and I'm really excited to see how he handles lettering this page.
Cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, it looks awesome. I mean, yeah. So how long are you planning to run the campaign for?
So the way that I do Indiegogos, and this is after studying how most creators do it, is what we'll likely do is we'll do the 60-day format. However, we will launch it in segments. So the first segment will be for the first 30 days, and we will initially launch for the 30-day window. And then at the 30-day window, we will use that as a way to close out any early bird specials that we'll have, because we do have a few. We have a remastered version of the Zero issue of Elysian Fields that is an add-on for any tier that you can get. For the first 30 days only, there's going to be a 9 Realms catalog that's a first 30 days only kind of deal, and so we'll use that to kind of rebuild some momentum midway through the campaign, and then the second half, and then get us into the second half of the campaign for the second 30 days. And then again, you get to that last 60 days before you go in demand, and you try and boost it up as much as you can, and then you go in demand, and then it's open as an online store pretty much. And so what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to have this book as close to complete as we can by the time that those 60 days roll around, at least from the line art perspective. And then the goal will be to have the book starting to ship out to people by June or July.
Cool. Now, let's talk about your time on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I know. Things didn't go as planned.
Dude,
right?
I'm honestly, and I've talked to a few people about this, but like, yes, it sucked that we didn't get the funding. We were really close. Really close. There are two big things that I look at when it comes down to this. One, there's nothing I can do about it. We didn't fund. Yeah, it sucks, but life moves on. You push forward. You do what you got to do. All right? And we still offered everybody that backed that Kickstarter a chance to get the tiers that they pledged for. And, I've been true to my word on that. Every single person that has hit me up for that, a majority of them were digital tiers, and I've already sent those out to everybody. And the few people that got physical stuff, I have their books sorted. And the main event, the guys that got the main event, those books, I put them in for an order with the printer. They're being done as we speak. I should get them here in the next week. So yeah, it sucks we didn't fund, but again, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about that. We move forward. And the other thing about it that I look at it is, as I said, I've been through a lot of stuff over the past year, and frankly, when I was going through what I was going through, when I was deciding that, okay, I'm going to shut down the Indiegogo in demand on January 1st. And I'm just going to, initially I was just going to cancel the Kickstarter. I wasn't going to keep it going. But then I came back and I saw that we actually had a pretty solid chunk of people that had already come to us. And so I was like, this is going to be tough, and I'm going to need to push like crazy because I have to rebuild the hype that I had coming in.
Right.
But I can still theoretically do this. And so the fact that we got as close as we did,
yeah,
by when I effectively had to rebuild us from nothing midway through campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, I all I can say is we gave it our all. And I'm happy with how we did. Yes, it's unfortunate that we didn't hit that funding mark. It would have been really nice to get another $2,000, but I can't control that. All I can control is moving forward, getting books out to people, and doing this next campaign for the Embrace. And that's how I look at it, and that's what I'm focusing on with it.
All right. Cool. Well, Varen, I think, missed it. You already answered this question, but let him know because he's a good guy.
we've got hi Varian. We've got SK from Sigma Studios. S is phenomenal letterer. He's done lettering on books like Elysian Fields, The Pyramid Gambit. He's done lettering on The Company Men, Dead, White, and Blue. Lot of great books that you should be familiar with because they've been on your show, Mr. Grant. But yeah, he's a stellar talent, and yeah.
Don't Mr. Grant him. His head is already bigger than it is.
Yeah, didn't he buy a plot of land in Scotland just so he could get the title of Lord?
Yeah, he's like Lord Bishop something. I don't know. That guy. He got so many titles.
He's a good dude though.
That's awesome.
But
I wouldn't talk to him if he wasn't.
fair enough.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, as I was saying though, yeah, SK phenomenal letterer. And you know that's the embrace is where I'm trying to shift my focus to. I've got pretty much everything ready to fulfill for Pyramid Gambit. I'm just waiting for the posters and cards to come in so that I can add those to people's orders, and then they're going out in the mail.
Now, let me ask you a question because I know you were contacting people on the side trying to get them. So have people been sending you money, like I guess via PayPal?
We
Or whatever?
did. We did. And so the way that I effectively had that work was I sent through Kickstarter. I sent a message out to all of the backers, giving them the PayPal information that I had. And what I did was I said, okay, send me the money with what perk tier that you backed, and then what I'm going to do is I will take that, invoice you, and then when I have those, then you have a record that I am doing this, and then once I have, we had a lot of people do the digital pack, so it was just as simple as, okay, here's your digital stuff, you're good to go. For the people that got physical tiers, it was here's the digital side of your perk, because every perk tier, every physical tier came with the digitals. And I said, and I also let them know, I was like, okay, I have the physical books. We're getting them ready to fulfill and everything. The moment that I've got your tracking information, I'll get that to you. So I've been keeping people up to date, and I've been doing it with Indiegogo as well. We were a little bit behind on production from the Indiegogo side because back in November, Marcelo's drawing table crapped out, and he had to get a new one. So he had a lot of pencils done for pages, but he couldn't get them inked or colored. So that ran our production a little bit behind. So what I ended up doing was I let everyone in Indiegogo know. I was like, hey, thanks so much for your patience. We have the books here. I'm sorting them out. But in the meantime, here are the digital copies of the books if you want to read them. And so that way the books that you get can just stay in their sleeves and what have you, and you'll have them as a collector copy, or you can read them on a rainy day or what have you, whatever you wish to do with them. So I'm trying to do my best to do right by every single person that's purchased my book.
All right, cool. Now, I didn't know about this until Daphne told me about it. She said you had coins.
Yeah.
Let's see a coin, because I'm a crackhead for coins. I love these things. Nice. That is awesome. Wow, that's cool. All right, we got to talk after the show.
So we ended up doing those because we were doing our support our troops tier for the Indiegogo for Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, and the big thing that we were doing was you got a special cover of the book, you got a pinup by Justin Hunt and Alonzo Espinoza, and you got a unit patch and a challenge coin. And so yeah, that's what we ended up doing, and the challenge coins turned out great. The unit patches turned out great. I'm really excited to see Justin Hunt's pinups. Those will take a little bit longer to get to me because they didn't get sent to me immediately because the first 25 of them have to be signed by Justin. So they got shipped to Justin over in California. He's signing them and then sending them my way.
Nice. All right, cool. Now, what's your biggest takeaway from the whole Kickstarter fiasco? Well, like, what was the thing that, like, that light bulb that hit us? Said, damn it! If I've just done this, thing.
Don't stop promoting, or if you have to stop, you should, if you effectively make sure that if you launch a campaign, you're at a place in your life where you'd have the time to promote. Gotcha. That's all that can be said. Because that's what killed me. I think it was even Joe that had said it. We were all hanging out on it was either your stream or Varian's or one of the other, and we were all talking about it after my whole Kickstarter thing had happened. And Joe's like, with the figures that you had over on Indiegogo and everything, you should have. There's no reason why you shouldn't have funded on Kickstarter,
right.
Even at the rate that you had it at. And I was like, you're not wrong, but at the end of the day, that lies on me.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped promoting my Kickstarter for almost an entire month, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that will really hurt a campaign because it's not like, oh, well, I can just drop it and then pick it up. No, because once you drop it, the people that you could have been hitting to maintain the hype and everything, they go away.
Mm-hmm.
They look at other things. And so now you're effectively having to rebuild all the potential hype that you had going into your campaign halfway through it. And that's way more work. Way more work than just doing it the right way to begin with. And so I guess like that's my big takeaway. Like people ask, like, oh well, you wouldn't have changed the campaign goal? No, because we definitely could have hit and should have hit 2,500. We came $90 fucking off of hitting 2,500. So no, I don't think that lowering that campaign goal I don't think that our campaign goal was unreasonable. We cleared 8K. We cleared 8K on both of our Indiegogos. So yeah, I think that 2,500 is plenty, and was a respectable amount. No, we weren't going to hit it day one, but we were going to hit it. And hell, we had people that were in the middle of backing pledges in the last minute of the Kickstarter that got frozen out by the timer. So we probably still would have hit 2,500.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just this is the way that the cards were dealt, and it's unfortunate. But what else can I do at this point? Nothing. Just move on and keep going forward. So that's the only thing that I would say. I'm personally until and I said this up on Varian Stream the other day. But I am not going to be going back to the Kickstarter platform. It has nothing to do. I don't want anyone to be like, "Oh, that's just because you didn't fund over there." No, I came $90 off of funding. I damn well could have.
Mm-hmm.
There has been some things going on with a campaign that was stolen from Indiegogo and put onto Kickstarter, and Kickstarter did nothing to handle it until law enforcement was brought in after almost 2 weeks. So it was all funny back when we were joking about things like Darth Krell and crap like that. We were just like, how are these guys how is Kickstarter not doing anything about this? Disney's gonna come smack them around. It was one thing, we were joking about it then, but the writing was on the wall, and now the worst possible case scenario has happened, where an independent creator had their IP and identity stolen from them, and Kickstarter did nothing for almost 2 weeks. So until there is more accountability on the Kickstarter platform, they will be getting none of my business, and that means that I will not be backing anything on Kickstarter, and I will not be doing campaigns on Kickstarter. I won't be doing them anymore. If you have a campaign on Kickstarter and I think that it's a good book, I will reach out to you and see if I can't purchase it from you directly via PayPal or something like that. But I'm not giving that site money.
Well, Varian, look at this guy. He just starts drama, this guy.
Yeah, complete drama guy. Go on ahead and ask, Varian.
Yeah. Feel free. We're all about the drama here. We like drama.
I don't like drama. I'm not going to shy away from any question that's asked of me.
No, we like drama because we write comics, and it's all boy drama.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's all guy drama,
Oh, of course.
So moving on to happier times, we're moving on to the Embrace, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you feel that? I mean, obviously you're doing a launch page, right? So, because I've never done one, because I'm a genius, and I like I work beyond the realm of what other normal human beings.
Of course, JD.
So I just smash my face with a brick every time. But that landing page, do you think it's going have you had success with it in the past?
So this is only my third. This is only my third Indiegogo. I had no pre-launch campaign on my first campaign because I was an idiot and I literally launched with like nothing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The fact that we funded that first freaking book was a stroke of miracle. Like I'm very happy we did, but like it should by all counts of reason and everything, it should not have fucking funded. Like I had a lot of luck on that first campaign, and a lot of great support from fantastic people, and I love every single one of you guys. The second book, I think that it could have been done a lot better. I think that the pre-launch thing is a very useful tool if you know how to use it properly. And that was the thing, is that I had this tool. I didn't know how to use it properly, for one. And two, I also had incredibly bad timing of when I was launching that, when I was trying to push and launch that campaign, because it was going into election season and nobody wanted anything to do with anything on fucking social media. So I ended up losing out on reaching a good chunk of my audience from the first book, because we had people that just came back to Twitter here within the past like 2 weeks or so that found out that they missed my entire campaign. And were like, "You already had your second book come out?" Fuck, man, I don't know what to tell you. I was on Twitter, I was on like YouTube, I was doing like 4 or 5 shows a day. I don't know what else you want from me. But I think that they are a very useful tool, and it's something that you have to use properly. You can't just be like, "Oh yeah, sign up for the mailing list." You have to use that mailing list to engage, because otherwise those people are going to be like, "Oh, well, that was nice. Now I'm just effectively on this little list until you launch." But if you're constantly engaging, like I do it, so I haven't done it today because I'm waiting for something for some pages to come back from Paul that should be done tomorrow. So the moment that I get those pages, I'm doing my Embrace newsletter, right? And I'm sending those out so that the people that signed up for that newsletter get to see this stuff first. There's only been one instance where the Embrace newsletter hasn't seen something before everyone else, and that was when we got the Sigmentore colors in. Because the moment that we got those, I was like, "Oh man, these have to go up like now."
God.
Because they were great. But like otherwise, every single time that I get something cool that I can share with you guys, I put it out on the Embrace newsletter. We also, it was really cool because within the first few weeks of us having the Embrace campaign live, we had a whole bunch of people just drawing our character for fun. So what did we do? We used we used that newsletter and created a fan art contest. And so we got almost a dozen submissions.
Nice.
For this fan art contest, and they're all fucking incredible. It's making my job very difficult because I have to pick like the top 3 pieces, and those 3 will be featured in a fan art gallery inside the book, and then the top piece, which is going to be even harder to freaking pick out, of those top 3 is going to get turned into an early bird special pinup. So like every person that backs in the first 30 days gets this pinup, 11 by 17 pinup of a fan art piece of the Embrace, and I have to choose from this dozen of freaking fan art submissions that just look outstanding. Some of this work, man, you're just like, "Oh man, this is fan art." Oh, well, goodness.
You have some high-level fans. That's good.
We do. And it's incredible, and I cannot be more thankful. But again, it's one of those things where if you have the pre-launch page and you utilize it if you utilize it properly, it can be a fantastic promotional tool. You just have to use it. You cannot just be like, "Oh yeah, go sign up for my mailing list." No, signing up for the mailing list is only the first part. Well, now you get a newsletter every week. Well, now you get a free pinup when you back the book. Well, now you get this. Well, now you get that. And that's what it's there for. It's a tool, and if you just let the tool sit there and frickin' rust, it's not going to do anything for you. But if you are actively engaging with your audience through it, well, they're going to be like, well, damn, I actually am getting all this cool stuff. Maybe I should get my friend to sign up. Currently, the Embrace has almost 210 signups on its pre-launch page, and we haven't even been live for 2 months. So, it's a pretty impressive thing, and for us to have generated this much hype in such little time,
So
I appreciate that very. It was super rough, and I'm sure that if anyone watched the live stream with me, with Pops and everyone there, you probably saw my heart break in freaking at like I think it was like the hour 45 mark or whatever it was, because when we're closing out, I'm trying everything not to cry, but I can't blame anyone else. I can't, because at the end of the day, yeah, somebody else could have bought my book, but I could have also been promoting it. At the end of the day, there were 30 days that I didn't promote that Kickstarter. How am I going to get mad at somebody for not throwing money at me when I didn't even put the effort into promoting my book?
True.
That's my fault.
All right. So enough of that. That horse is dead. Let's stop beating it.
Yes.
That horse is dead. So, yeah, I mean, the one thing, though, that I mean, you still managed to make, you had lemons and you made some lemonade.
Yeah.
You still got some of those people to send you their money.
Yeah.
A percentage, would you say a good portion of them? And
this has always been the other thing with Kickstarter, where they don't take the funds out immediately.
Right.
And so we had a lot of people who were like, dude, I'm sorry if this thing had it would have been a rude wake up call even if we had funded, because there were a lot of people that just didn't have the money by the time that we reached it.
That sucks. That just
it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, it is what it is, and I have no problem with it. We did have several people that still came out. I say, we via the campaign initial numbers, we had 13 people back the main event. Of those 13, around 5 reached out to me to get the main event book. And we had a small handfuls of people getting the other covers and everything like that. And we had 2 retailers that were still interested in getting the book, and I have their books ready to go and to ship out to them once I get everyone else's books fulfilled. Cool. So we did have a good chunk of people come in. Was it as many as that had actually backed? No, but we got a solid. I'd say. I want to say we had around 50 backers. I think we had around 15 to 20 people reach out to me. So it's not a bad number.
No.
But
all right, that's cool. I mean, now, all right. Well, it's getting close. So
yeah, we always run close, JD. It's you and me. We talk for ever.
Yeah. So, I got all my goofy questions to ask you in a minute, but and I got to change some of them up for you because you've been on here so many times.
Well, here's the other thing. The big advantage, though, is a lot of the goofy questions that you asked me, you can actually ask again, because when you asked them before, they were in pertaining to Elysian Fields.
Right.
So we've got a new book to talk about. So you ask away, man. Let's see what we got.
All right. Well, first, let everybody know where they can find you and all your work.
You guys can find me on Twitter at ElysianFields_0. You can find me on Facebook at 9 Realms Publishing. Follow us there, like us on Twitter, and make sure that you do not miss out on the Embrace. Sign up for that mailing list. You get a beautiful 11 by 17 pin up by Jim O'Reilly and Sigmund Torre just for signing up for the damn thing when you get the book. So don't miss out on that. And yeah.
All right, cool. Now, I'll give you this one. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to ask, or was there any subject you wanted to discuss?
Nah.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Now, here's one of my change-up questions. Now, if you had to make a choice, and a producer came up to you and he said, "Listen, I can make one of your books into a movie. Which one would you choose?"
Easily the Embrace.
Okay. Okay.
And it's not, it has nothing to do with, is not a thing where I like the Embrace more. It's that if I were to make a movie out of either of them, I think I could probably contain the Embrace into a solid movie, or at least like the first chunk of it could probably make a solid movie. Elysian Fields needs to be like a series, so like it would not work in like that 2.5 hour format. It wouldn't work.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. Now, I'll ask you the cover. Well, I'll ask you the cover question. And we'll go for interiors as well. Right now, if you had a choice, let's say, your artists, they had to move on. They got like $1 billion deals, and they were like, "Look, Michael, I love you, but I gotta go." Right? But they were able to say to you, "Look, you can pick anybody you want to do your interiors and your cover and your guest cover. Who would you get for the Embrace?"
Ooh. All right. So I'm not limited at all by like budget or anything, right?
No, not at all.
Probably get either Greg Capullo or Ryan Otley to do the interior art of the book.
Nice.
Because they did a stellar job on Haunt together, and that's got a very similar tone to the Embrace, I feel. So I think that they'd freaking. I mean, obviously they'd rock it out of the park, but like,
yeah,
they would be probably my first choice. And as far as guest covers or anything like that would be good. Like, guest cover for freaking the Embrace should probably be obviously like someone like either like Todd McFarlane or hell even again like Ryan Otley. I was actually just talking to Dean about this today. It's like, if I could have a mainstream artist draw a cover for the Embrace, it would be Ryan Otley. He's like, "Oh, reach out to him." I was like, there's no way in hell that I have enough money to pay for that.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. Some of them, believe it or not, it depends. If you just ask for a single figure with maybe a simple background, they might swing something for you. And some of them can be reasonable, but you got to catch them the right day, right time, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Variant says the Embrace featuring Adam Driver. There you go.
Adam Driver actually would be, I think, a pretty good pick for Clarence. I think that he'd actually do a really good job. As much shit as people give Adam Driver for certain things, the man is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
A lot of good range.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah. So all right. So now I'm gonna ask you some of these comparatives. I don't remember which ones I've asked you in the past, but I do have some new ones.
Well, let's rock it.
All right. We'll start simple. Marvel or DC?
Really? Okay. Marvel.
Okay. Spock or Data? I don't know if I asked you this damn question.
You have asked me Spock or Data, and I went with Data because the only Star Trek movie that from the original stuff that I really enjoyed was First Contact.
Okay. Terminator or RoboCop?
You've asked me this one as well.
Fuck. All right.
Terminator.
All right. Robin Hood or Zorro?
I don't think you've asked me this one before. I'm going to go with my boy Zorro because Zorro is way cooler than Robin Hood. Okay. I like Robin Hood, I do, but it's Zorro, man.
Gotcha. Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Okay. Secret Wars or Crisis on Infinite Earths?
I assume we're talking for Secret Wars. I assume we're talking about the original and not the Jonathan Hickman one.
Right.
That's actually a really tough question because I
We'll
really
go with
like
Y
both
on
of
this one too.
those. Huh?
We'll go with Y on this one too.
All right, I'm gonna go Secret Wars solely because of the things that it gave us after. Um, because Secret Wars gave us symbiote Spider-Man, and without symbiote Spider-Man, we don't get Venom.
Okay.
And Venom is probably one of the most iconic characters to come out of the last 20, 30 years.
All right, cool. Did I ever ask you any wrestling questions?
No, but they're not going to do too great with me because I'm not a huge wrestling guy. But we'll rock it.
Well, this one should be easy because most people know these two. The Rock or Stone Cold?
The Rock.
Okay.
I will say, and the reason why I say that is I actually do know a good deal about Stone Cold, and while he is a good wrestler, The Rock is way better on the mic.
Oh yeah.
And that's the big thing, is that at the end of the day, wrestling, WWE, all of that, it's all about entertainment. And the biggest way that you do that is by having great mic work, because that's what's going to make people that, like, everyone there is a stellar wrestler. What's going to make you or break you is how well you can spin that mic. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is one of the best that there's been at that.
True. Doctor Strange or John Constantine?
Like, in a fight, or who do I like better?
It's up to you, bro. It's up to you.
And in all honesty, it actually goes to the same person, Stephen Strange.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, here we go. Words or pictures?
I feel like you just trapped me.
Yeah, no, it's
like, where's Admiral Akbar? Fuck, man, that's mean. We'll go pictures. We'll go pictures.
Right. I know you really want to say words, but okay.
Shut up, JD.
All right, here you go. Here's one from your boy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Disney, Pixar, or anime?
I'm gonna have to go anime. I love Disney Pixar, but like anime, you have everything that all the movies that Disney Pixar does stuff like you get in Hayao Miyazaki. And so you don't lose out on any of that kind of content, but then you also get all the other awesome content that you get with anime as well. So yeah, sorry. I love Disney Pixar, but that goes to anime.
All right, cool. Now, we've done a few of these. We'll do a couple more and then we'll wrap it up.
Roger.
Here's one I know I never asked anyone. Luke Skywalker or Batman?
In a fight, Luke Skywalker. As a character, Batman. As like a character preference, Batman.
Okay, that's a major cop out, but okay.
It's not a major cop out. I like Batman better as a character. However, Luke Skywalker would spank him in a fight. I hate when people put Force users against people who are not also Force users or have an ability adjacent to that, because it's dumb. You are fighting somebody that literally is able to break the rules of reality. That is what the Force is, the makeup of reality. And so when you put people in fights against one another, you have to take in consideration the rules of respective universe. And there's no way that anyone like Luke, Vader, anyone would lose to any fucking character in Marvel or DC, save a small fucking handful that have comparable ability. But anyways, moving on to the next question.
Okay. No. I'll hit you up with two more. I don't know if you how familiar you are with these, so we'll ask this: Labyrinth or Pan's Labyrinth?
I am familiar very well with both of them, and Pan's
Okay.
Labyrinth 100%, because Labyrinth is fun, but holy shit, Pan's Labyrinth has affected me way more in my life than fucking Labyrinth has.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And we'll
That
end with
dinner
this
table
one.
scene is horrible.
Now what?
Horrifying.
Oh, that table.
The
See, yeah,
dinner table scene was fucking horrifying.
yeah. Now check this out: mystery or suspense? And we'll end it on this.
Ooh. I think that's a. I'll probably go mystery because you can have suspense in a good mystery.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Sounds good. All right. So there it is, man. We made it to the end one more time. You
We
know,
do it. We did it again.
we did it again. So do me a favor, one more time, please. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work.
All right. So one last time for the to round it all out for this episode. You can find me on Twitter at @ElysianFields_0. You can find me on Facebook, Nine Realms Publishing. You can find The Embrace, which has its mailing list live right now. Sign up for that. You get sneak peeks through our Embrace weekly newsletter. You get a free, I say free, 11x17 Jim O'Reilly Sigmund Torre pinup with your purchase of the book just by signing up. And you get you get like we're launching that on March 1st. You don't want to miss out. Sign up.
Sign up. There it is. Go check out The Embrace, man. It looks awesome. I mean, the story sounds great. I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. You know, I mean, yeah, that is just gonna be awesome. I mean, thank you so much, Odin. We'll do this again, of course. We'll go on to number 5, 6, and 82. You know, and you know, as the campaigns keep growing, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Mhm.
And for those of you who backed Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, you'll be getting those books soon.
Nice. There you go. And like I said, thank you everyone for being here. I got the Oswald Chronicles currently on Kickstarter, so go check it out. Go support. And I will be talking to you all tomorrow because we have a group podcast coming on where we're going to just talk about the business of comics. So thank you so much, Odin. And of course, you know you're invited. You know if you can make it or not, because I know you're busy. You're a busy man.
Yes.
Uh,
I will
so
try and see if I can't make it out. I do miss coming on those, man. They're a good time.
yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Bye.